Hello, everybody. We
Greetings.
are the Paper Dungeon,
We are here.
and this is Table Scraps, and we are 30 minutes late, and I have new headphones.
That's right. Although, guys, I'm gonna say it's my fault that we're late. It's because Aaron and I got sidetracked in a conversation after we got on a Zoom call
It's
to get ready
true.
for stream. So it's my fault.
I was
I
so
should have known
unbelievably on
better,
time.
but it's all
Ugh,
right. We're here. We made it.
barely.
We're live.
But let me tell you, before we get too far into anything, we've got some plugs. We've always got them. They're always there,
That's right.
ever present. Plugs can't be stopped. So first off, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, those are social medias that we have and don't use. But we have them, and you should check them out because there's stuff on there that is already good. Um, Hopefully, we will be updating that. I have new equipment. I'm operating on a new PC, which
Woo!
theoretically should make my life easier when it comes to doing stuff that requires a computer.
Yes.
So
We're
hopefully, you
all
should be
excited.
seeing some kind of stuff on there eventually. We have a website, www.thepaperdungeon.com, on which we have a merch store. That merch store has merch. It has our logo and stuff on it. It's great. Check it out. It's a fun time.
Do
Um,
we have a merch command?
no, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it just links you to the website.
Hmm.
Questionable planning, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, oh, shoot. Am I very quiet? I shouldn't be very quiet. Let me check the properties.
Give us a moment here, Handskate. Thank you for informing us of this terrible, terrible thing. We always
How
want to hear
about
Aaron
now?
speak.
Is it better now? Is it too loud? Too quiet? Hit me with it. I almost feel. Hold on. I can't hear the. This is just. Give me some amount of time. I don't know how to check this.
Hand says it's better.
Is the microphone clear? Is the better question. Because it could be using the wrong microphone.
That that is possible. Is
It
because I was gonna say
says that it's using the right microphone, but sometimes it lies.
sometimes that is true. It does
Okay.
lie sometimes.
Handskate says yes. So I'm just going to call it good. I upped my gain a whole bunch. It's great. I bet my Zoom settings were reset with the new thing too. So I'm going to have to. Yep. God dang it. um, let's see. I was at website. We have a Discord. That's a cool thing. You should check that out. Thank you for posting that. Uh, Nightbot. Shout out to Nightbot for that. Um, our Discord is filled with a bunch of cool people. We actually had a couple of new people join this week. Pretty rad. Um, yeah, sometimes we stream in there. I think we're going to be uploading something pretty fun in there, a little bit of a fun little tidbit from our Patreon, which, if you want to support us, there's a lot of ways to do it. One of the best ones is Patreon. We post monthly fun things in there, normally a one shot of some sort, occasionally some other stuff if we find the time to upload it. Um, we also have Streamlabs donation and Ko-Fi if you want to monetarily support us. Of course, the easiest way to support us is just by stopping by, saying, "Hello, I'm here. I am at the Paper Dungeon, and I brought a friend." It's great. That's a very easy,
Yeah.
completely free thing to do, unless you have to buy your friends, which I would respect. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. Money can buy friendship. I have seen it. It is true.
The paper dungeon does not condone the use of money in
Yes,
order
the
to bribe friends.
my views are separate from the paper dungeons. Let it be known, Aaron believes that you can absolutely buy friends. Um, Not good ones, but you can buy friends. um, let's see. Is there anything else? I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know.
I don't know.
It
I
doesn't
couldn't
really
tell
matter
you.
that much. No one watches the beginning of these.
Uh,
So,
yeah,
uh,
I think we covered all of our normal
yeah,
bases, our
we
important
covered the
bases.
gist of it.
Yeah,
Oh, I should introduce us. Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm a player, sometimes DM, on the Paper Dungeon.
Drew. I'm
Shout out,
mostly player and very, very occasionally DM.
very rarely, but it's pretty cool when it happens. Shout out to Handscape for another gifted sub. What a
Whoa!
banger!
Yes. Speaking of buying
Yeah,
friends.
Dark Wolf, consider your friendship bought. Yes, I said bought, and I'm not ashamed of it. So, this
I
past
mean,
Monday,
Hans has bought my friendship.
it's true.
So.
Hans has bought more of your friendship than any other person I've ever seen. Hanscade's like, I'm gonna send a random friend donation, and True just swoops in there like a prowling lion, and he's like, I'm gonna take that for myself. Much obliged.
I'm just amazed at how often it happens.
It's like almost. It's got to be over 50% of the time that Hanscade donates.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It's you have
which is statistically very improbable.
It's kind of nutty.
That's the McKellips luck right there for you.
True. The McKellips blood is thicker than water and apparently thicker than donated subscriptions. This past Monday, we did not do a main campaign episode because Grant was sick. I couldn't remember which time it was.
Well, no, because it wasn't because Grant wasn't sick this one, because Grant was sick at the other one.
Okay, the other one.
Because this past Monday was Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. And then I have lost track. Looked.
Well, okay. I mean, to be fair,
recently.
like, so this past week, right, is Memorial Day. We streamed a special one shot for that. The week previous, we also didn't stream a main campaign because Grant was sick.
Because Grant was sick, and DJ almost had to go on a trip, and
yeah. So we ended up just doing a rerun. Honestly, I totally forgot that happened. Like, literally, I was working on the podcast today, and I'm like, and I'd done some file management. And at first I thought, because I saw the file for the rerun, and I forgot we'd done the rerun, so I had just and I just named it as like, oh, okay, so like what's the next episode? Oh, we had episode 27, great, so this is episode 28. And so then I started to look at some of the stuff because I needed to refresh my mind on a few things for the podcast or whatever. And then I'm looking at these two episodes, I'm like, what's going on here? Why is everyone wearing the same outfit? What is happening? This is what? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. We did a rerun. So that means that this is actually just a copy of 27. Oh, that makes way more sense now.
I understand.
I was so
Aaron's
confused.
wearing the same shirt because I'm pretty sure that Aaron only owns 7 shirts.
Well, yeah. At first, that's what happened. Was at first I just looked at you and I thought, oh, Aaron wore the same shirt. I mean, that's super uncommon. Like, that's happened before. Aaron has like 5 t-shirts. It's fine.
Aaron just owns like 9 shirts and then just washes. I wear like 7 shirts in a week and then I just wash my shirts.
Yeah.
Like, why would you
then Monday comes around, every time on the same shirt. Yeah, that's right.
It's simple math.
But yeah, but then I went back again and I noticed that I was wearing the same hat and the same shirt as well. I'm like,
impossible. I'm much too stylish.
I'm just like, what is going on? And sure enough, then I noticed like everyone was wearing the same stuff. I'm like, what is going on?
Indeed.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. There's one of them's a rerun.
Yep, that happens.
There we go. It happens to the best of us. That's what happens when you get a little delayed on working on the podcast. By the way, speaking of the podcast, shout out to the podcast.
Oh, yes.
We recently just passed 18K downloads all time. So thank you to all you people.
Which is what was the other stat that you just told me? Like,
well, within the past 14 days, we've had 174 downloads.
That's like a lot of downloads. That's like 174 people going out of their way to just listen to garbage.
Well, see, I'm starting. I never thought this would happen, but I'm starting to be won over by the podcast listeners because they're by far the silent majority. It feels like,
and the crazy thing is they'll never hear us absolutely talking them up right now.
That's right. Yeah. Well, unless maybe unless the Anchored Anki watches this and he leaks on us,
and then Anchored runs over and is like, guys, because I assume that they're all in a hive mind. Oh yeah,
100%. Yeah, they all secretly have a Discord that they're all in.
Absolutely. They're like, haha, we've inducted another one into the Paper Dungeon podcast listener group.
That
But
would
yeah,
be really, really funny though.
so instead of main campaign this past Monday, because it was Memorial Day, I almost said Labor Day. It was Memorial Day. I DM'd something. Was it the most incredibly mind-blowing one shot like that had intricate moving parts and references and bits and time spent into it to really just make it an involved experience? No.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yes,
no, not at all.
but no.
No, but
see, here's the thing, Aaron. You're literally going through that whole list, and me as a player, like, yep, that happened. Yep, that happened. Yep, that happened.
But like, was it my best work?
No, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't go that far.
I would not
say
either.
It's your best work.
I think that it went pretty
Mostly
well.
because your best work is like, I mean, Aaron, we all know you're a 6 out of 10 DM.
It's true.
But just saying, I think your best work really peaks it. At like
funny. I have a feeling that we have that quote wrong.
Is it?
I feel like it might be 4 out of 10.
I think you're right. No, that's what it is. You're a 4 out of 10 DM, but 6 is greater than 10 because orc math. That's what it is.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's what it is.
It's so funny because we always say 6 out of 10, but I'm like, I feel like that's just wrong.
No, you're correct. It is. You're 4 out of 10 DM.
Because it's like at that point in time, just
but
like
then
give me
6
like
is great.
stars.
But Tarak has the famous quote of being 6 is greater than 10.
Because 6 out of 10 is like, well, at least you're better than average. 4 out of 10 is like, at that point in time, just give me a 0. Like that, it would. See,
I feel like you've said that exact statement before.
Yeah, like I'm almost certain I have, because it's like, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm bad, but 4 out of 10, where it's like, well, if I had no other options, like that would mean that I'm better than 39% of DMs that they have played with. Shout out to that TikTok commentator.
Because, who definitely is not watching this.
You're like, well, yeah, because they're like, oh, you mean the 4 out of 10 guy? No, I'm never watching this show.
It is, although, to be fair though, it is pretty rare to get rated like 4 out of 10 because when it comes to ratings, people tend to the extreme so often. Like 10 out of anytime 10. You look at any ratings for anything, it's either like you have like most of them are like 4 or 5 and 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's like on a scale of 10, it's actually only 3. There's 1, 5, and 10. There are no, if I like,
no other numbers exist.
Yeah, if I'm like, this sucked, I put a 1. If I'm like,
it was okay,
I don't care, I'd put a 5. If it was like, yeah, that was pretty good, I put a 10. Is it actually 10? Almost definitely not. But it's like,
nobody does that.
Who cares, dog?
Right.
I'm off track. What we did, I know, off track, Aaron, on table scraps, never.
It's almost like, honestly, it just defines the Paper Dungeon at this point. It's just off track.
But I have been, I've mentioned it a couple of times, I'm working on a new RPG. Progress has slowed slightly, but my brain has not. So I've been continuing to develop it, and I've just slowed down writing it down. Which is not great, but also not the worst thing that could happen.
Right.
It's called Triple M, and the world that I want to kind of be the background for Triple M, where like Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition has the Forgotten Realms, the Sword Coast, blah 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 blah.
Right.
I kind of want the, hey, you don't know anything about RPGs or making your own world. Here's a world that you can run your games in that has work put into it, so that way you can get to the fun part and get to the difficult part of like designing a world later.
Right.
And that world I want to include in there is called Mithrin, which I have been having a blast.
It's been really great. The one shots that we've played so far have been absolutely phenomenal.
There's been 3 that we've played, one of which was everyone made characters for another player. And so we had that one. We had a one on our Patreon that I don't know if it's been released yet. I have not been keeping track of what things released where.
Honestly, I need to talk to Grant about stuff.
Yeah,
but yes, it has not been released yet. Yeah,
so let's punch him with our words. We do not condone physical violence unless absolutely necessary.
unless it's used for self-defense.
Yeah, self-defense. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that reminds me. This is totally off track, but that does remind me of the Technoblade quote of a bit that he has of, "Officer, I drop kicked that child in self-defense."
Absolutely, that's me to Grant on a daily basis. Someone's like, "Oh my God, stop punching that guy!" And I'm like, "This wasn't self-defense." He's just on the ground. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I've defended myself.
There's like a single tiny scratch on your cheek versus Grant is just a bloodied mess. So you're just like, goes in self-defense, officer.
This sounds really bad. This is a joke. For legal reasons, this is a joke.
I mean, yes. On a serious note, Grant and Aaron get along. They're absolute best friends. So
absolute great friends.
That's why Aaron can say these things.
Yes, because that's definitely how friendship works. But yeah, this past Monday, so the kind of whole deal with Mithrin is a lot of it that I've been focusing on has been around the Eld, which is this kind of forest that has been untouched by time. It has a lot of old magic and fairy stuff, and it's a very traditional kind of fairy tale things. So like fairies fear iron still, so if you go there with iron weapons, they'll deal additional damage to the fae. Like werewolves and silver and moon shenanigans and all sorts of stuff like that are very present. Like there are monsters that if you throw a bag of grain down in front of them, they have to pause to count every grain before they can continue to chase you. Like old pagan-y stuff. Because it's so fairy tale focused, what I've been having a lot of fun doing is this thing called the Storybook Collection, which is also, interestingly enough, absolutely a Disney product. But did
you look it up? Did you find it?
No, I just had like a flashback memory of like, first of all, I work at a Target. There is a collection of the Disney princess movies called the Storybook Collection. I'm so sure of it. That is like reproduced copies of the original like traditional Disney princess movies. I'm still calling it the Storybook Collection. If Disney doesn't like this, they can send me a cease and desist, and then I'll name it something else. I don't know.
Aaron, really, you already got him because you just call it the Storybook series. And
yeah. I'll do something along those lines. But I take a fairy tale or some traditional kind of story like that, and then put a bit of a spin on it and run the players through it. Man, is it fun.
It's been a blast. Absolutely.
This most recent one was based on Snow White, which I'm just going to reveal it to you. There is no possible way that Snow White is not a vampire. And I will stand by this until the day that I die. There's no way they wrote that and were like, yeah, that sounds like a normal human being.
Yeah.
Not at all.
100%.
Not zero. Skin as white as snow. Also, conveniently, the same color as a corpse that has no blood in it. Like hair as dark as ebony. Sounds pretty vampire-y to me. Morticia. Just saying. And literally in the story, it says lips as red as blood. Why would you could have said as red as roses? No. As red as a blood, she's a vampire. She, in the story, in the original, like, Brothers Grimm story, she finds a cabin in the woods, and she just wrecks the place. like it's not the Disney movie where she's like, gonna sweep and clean up. No, she runs in and she's like upset, so she just makes a mess of things. And then the dwarves come back and they're like, whoa. And
what
then
the
for some reason, they just let her live there? No, it's vampire hypnosis. That's what it is. That she was like, you will let me stay in your abode. And they're like, yeah, that seems right. She sleeps in a glass coffin. Excuse me? That's a vampire. I know that we were talking about the Brothers Grimm, but let's switch over to the Disney version. She can use her voice to call woodland creatures to her aid. Like a vampire can. I'm just saying.
I totally agree with your assessment, Aaron.
There's a big causation correlation debate here.
Well, yeah, but
I don't care.
Yeah.
At all about that.
Yeah, no. We're here to play a fun D&D game. We're gonna make up we're gonna jump to whatever conclusions we want to.
Yeah. Well, let's think about it. If you knew someone in real life who was as pale as snow, had completely black hair, and blood red lips, was unnaturally attractive, literally to the point where she is the most beautiful person in your country, can call animals to her aid with her voice, and people just does whatever she says whenever she asks them and looks them in the eye. You could do a couple of things. You could say, yes, that's a
normal person.
That's a strange number of coincidences that happen to lie in what a traditional vampire could do. Or you could stab her in the chest with a wooden stake. I'm going to tell you one of these things. I would be clear here. You're definitely going to jail. But you're saving a lot of lives. You're saving a lot of lives out there.
It's the personal sacrifice right there.
Now, if we are going by D&D rules, the stake through the heart thing only works if they're in their resting place. So first, you should break into their house.
well, no. The secret is you have to seduce the vampire.
Ah, yes, as a true bard would.
They look
at you in the eye and they're like, seductive glance, and you go back, seductive counter. And they're like, oh, shoot. Oh, man, this guy, I can jive with this guy. But yeah, so that was the whole story. The group, I told them nothing about it.
We found out right before we started.
I had a narration as to what exactly is going on, and then I was like, okay, you didn't know this beforehand, now you know. That's what you do. And you two played it perfectly. Did a very good job. I enjoyed both of your characters very much.
I am greatly shocked that we made it out alive.
Oh yeah.
Given the fact that especially my character came real close to
I was
dying.
tempted to maybe I should try to chase him down real hard. But then I thought about it and I was like, this Snow White character, how much does she actually care about killing you two? And in the grand scheme of things, she really doesn't.
Well, and that's honestly that's the more menacing thing anyway, right? Like just her leisurely sauntering up and with these blood red lips and these eyes just pierced in the darkness. Absolutely. That's terrifying. Personally speaking, I was horrified. And I just made this character and didn't really care if he lived or died anyway. And boy, oh boy, I was afraid. I was very afraid.
Good. I'm glad. That was the purpose. That was what was meant to happen.
And I never thought that my third level Storm Sorcerer ability would become so helpful to me in my escape.
Storm Sorcerer is just a very good subclass.
It is. It's such
just
like
having
that's
a free 10 feet of movement that can get you out of danger as a spellcaster.
It's because literally the caveat is, as a bonus action, as long as you have if you cast a first level spell, you can fly 10 feet without provoking an opportunity attack before or after casting the spell.
And it's like, what are you going to do with that bonus action, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you're a spellcaster. Who cares about it? And it doesn't expend any resources. It's not like you need to use
you can do it indefinitely. Yeah.
And then that also means that, like, if you really like ranged spells, that would normally, like, it's like make an attack roll, and someone's within 5 feet, you just don't care.
Move away.
It's like, I'm not going to have disadvantage on this. I'm just going to move away beforehand.
Yeah.
Scot-free out of any danger.
Yeah. Or like even
Crazy.
like if you want to like mix it up with some melee stuff too, like you can get in, stab somebody, and just fly away.
Yeah, dude, you could see someone in danger. Bonus action, move your 10 feet, and then cast Thunderstep, bringing them with you. To get in and out with 0 consequence, which is another one of the reasons that I would like to lobby. Also, for some reason, the chat box is not working, and I just noticed that that's the case, which is very irritating. Hold on, everybody.
Well, Aaron does that.
Why do you hate?
Just looking at some of the other Storm Sorcerer abilities, because it's really absolutely bonkers, dude.
It's just really good.
So if we look at it, Storm Sorcery. So first of all, when you choose this subclass, you instantly gain the ability to speak Primordial, speak, read, and write Primordial, which allows you to understand those who speak Aquan, Orin, Ignan, and Terran, which are just the languages of the different elements. And then also, first level, Tempest Magic. As a bonus action, you can cause gusts of elemental air to move you around immediately before or after you cast a first level spell or higher, allowing you to fly 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. That's so helpful.
It's very
That's
good.
like so ridiculously useful.
It's very, very good.
6th level, Heart of the Storm. You gain resistance to lightning and thunder damage. Bro, what? 2 resistances at 6th level? Like,
why not?
Bruh.
Let's just give them all. Let's just give them all
right?
the resistances. That's
in addition, whenever you start casting a first level spell or higher that deals lightning or thunder damage, storm magic erupts around you. This eruption causes creatures of your choice you can see within 10 feet of you to take lightning or thunder damage, equal to half your sorcery level. Meaning, come late game, right? You say somebody attacks you, right? So somebody comes up into your grill, right? You want to get away with them. So then, you cast any first level spell and you can get away from them.
Yeah.
Or you could also cast like a lightning bolt in their face and automatically cause them 10 points of lightning damage in addition to the lightning spell, in addition to also being able to fly away.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh.
No, this tracks. This tracks absolutely.
Also, you also gain this at 6th level, Storm Guide. You can subtly control the wind around you. If it's raining, you can use an action to make the rain stop falling within 20-foot radius. If it's windy, you can cause bonus action each round to choose the direction the wind blows in a 100-foot radius sphere centered on you. Meaning, you basically, at 6th level, indefinitely, you get a slightly weaker version of control weather.
I would also like to be clear here. As a DM, I would absolutely allow that to work on, like, other people's spells, right? Hello, Maz.
Oh, hi, Maz.
Like, if someone's out here and they cast Wall of Wind, or, like, Gust, or, like, there's that other wind spell that just makes a line of air blast from you and continuously, I would absolutely be like, yeah, no, that's fine, you can use that ability. And then they just walk up and say, no, you. And then the wind's going at the other direction.
Bro, I'm at like, dude, if you ever have a campaign that focuses on Pandemonium, just play Storm Sorcerer.
Bro,
you'll be totally fine at that point. In fact, the winds become your ally at that point.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I'm good, dog.
You literally just create a little bubble of wind around your friends, and then everyone else outside of that, all your enemies are just like completely going crazy.
Yeah. Also, Maz, I'm very excited to hear about it. I love hearing your busted builds. I enjoy people experimenting with Dungeons and Dragons. It's pretty rad.
At 14th level, you gain Storm's Fury. When you hit with a melee attack, you can use a reaction to deal lightning damage to the attacker. Damage equals your sorcery level, not half your sorcery level, unlike the other ability. Equals to your sorcery level. The attacker must make a strength saving throw against your spell save, or the attacker is pushed in a 20-foot, pushed in a straight line 20 feet away from you. Meaning that if you somebody comes up and attacks you, right? You get hit. Yep. You just say go away, and they literally take damage and fly 20 feet away from you. You literally gain the force. You gain the force, and you gain both force push and force lightning.
Yeah.
So literally, you just
so
unlimited power.
So here's the beauty, Drew.
Oh my goodness.
So
dude.
Question. What abilities do you get at like level? Do you get any abilities at level 18?
Yes, I was just about to get to that. Level 18, Wind Soul. You gain immunity to lightning and thunder damage.
Mm-hmm.
Immunity.
So,
are there any other subclasses that give you immunity to anything?
I think that there might be like one or
like does the psychic fighter get like immunity to psychic damage from the end?
I don't think so. No. Fighter, no. Definitely not fighter.
Definitely not fighter.
Let's be clear here, Drew. That's a melee class. You also gain
a magical flying speed of 60 feet. As an action, you can reduce your flying speed to 30 feet for 1 hour and choose a number of creatures equal to 30 feet around you. A number of creatures within 30 feet of you. Equal to 3 plus your charisma modifier. Those creatures can magically fly a speed of 30 feet for 1 hour. In other words, once you reduce your flying speed in this way, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. So basically, once per day, you get like a 5th level fly spell.
That can't be dispelled. So here's a beautiful thing.
And the best part is it stays on you forever.
Oh yeah.
It's only temporary on your friends.
You just always can fly.
You're always flying.
So this is my favorite.
Dude, this is why Storm Sorcerer is one of my favorite sorcerers.
So here's the beauty of it, right? Because Storm Sorcerer is so great because it is like the easiest like thematic and skill level multi-class in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just do all Storm Sorcerer and then take like 2 levels into Storm Cleric, into Tempest Cleric.
Oh yeah. And then you do
just
even
every
more.
once in a while just drop in I do max damage.
Yeah. A max a max damage lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
At a higher level than 3rd level.
Yeah.
Also gets additional damage from your 6 and your 2 6th level abilities.
Oh yeah.
Like, bruh.
You know, it's such a nice introduction into multi-classing. Like, it's so easy and it feels so cool the whole time. It's just fun. Like, there are a lot of complicated, like, ooh, I need to take 1 or 2 levels here, or like, I should go 7 levels into this and 13 levels into that.
Mm-hmm.
18 and 2 is the least effort multi-class in the game.
And like honestly, like you could really get away with just like so your first level is in sorcerer. You could probably get away with your next 2 being in cleric, and then you just go sorcerer the rest of the way.
Dog, you could legit go 18 levels straight in sorcerer and then decide, I know this game a little bit better. I would like to multi-class and be completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, totally fair. The only reason I say that is because the ability to max out your damage, your lightning damage, would be nice to have like over the course of a whole campaign.
Mm-hmm.
That's the min-maxer in me right there coming out.
So I have a stance on this Maz. If you're going to dip into Warlock, dip 2 levels into Warlock.
Oh yeah, 2 levels for sure. That's how you get invocations.
that's when you start to get to the meat of, like, yes, you probably only need the one dip into Hexblade, but you will never be worse off for dipping 2 levels into Warlock instead of just one.
Because you get two invocations.
Like, absolutely. That's why I still say 18 and 2. It's the least committal and just best. Like, if you have a class that has an ability at level 18, it's just a feel good class. And I will stand by that. Because so this is an interesting thing. The classes that I notice feel really good are ones that either A, have abilities that like line up well with like 2 and 18. So like cleric, warlock, druid, the ones that feel the worst, if for multi-classing, are the ones that don't fit into that realm. Paladin, druid kind of does. Druid's a bit of a hit or miss, because at the same time, I suppose feel good is the wrong term, because there are also classes that feel really good only being in that class. Paladin is really great as long as you take like all 20 levels in Paladin.
Yeah, because like because your 20th level capstone ability is so strong.
Same thing with like druid. Sometimes struggles with that, where it's like, if you are a moon druid and you're not hitting the level where you can just do it forever, why are you here?
Yeah, the only time I feel like a multi-class with paladin is is good is when you started in a different class.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, like a warlock paladin is an infinitely better warlock.
Mm-hmm.
Purely because then you get 5th level divine smites really fast.
Yeah. But there's some, monk is a good example. I'm trying to remember of like the leveling abilities of monks. That's
I'm just flipping through all these books right now.
Yeah, monk is another one that is. Monk is one of the ones that just feels kind of bad to like multi-class in.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I feel like, it definitely does feel like most of the martial classes, except for maybe not fighter.
I will say, so a lot of, when I multi-class, I look at two things for both the class that I'm in and the class that I'm multi-classing. I mainly look at my subclass. So if I am in monk and I want to multi-class into something else, I look into, I look and I go, okay, I have a 17th level ability in my subclass as a monk, which means that if I take 3 levels into a different class, that's good.
Right.
Because I'll hit a subclass at level 3. But
right.
That also means that the ones that hit subclasses at level 2 are now much worse to like multi-class into. Because then it's like, well, I mean, I can go to level 3, but what do I really get out of it?
Right.
Like, it's like I might get a 2nd level spell or something. It's wizard is another one of the ones that's just a weird multi-class. I wouldn't say that any of them are particularly bad, but there are certainly like classes that don't mesh well. I'm too out of practice to like name them off the top of my head.
See, I would imagine, like, in my head, a multi-class wizard would be great if he could multi-class into wizard and take a 2nd subclass. That's because like if you had like 18 levels in wizard and like you had like whatever your base subclass is, and then like you took like 2 levels to get like the Blightslinger subclass, that would be epic.
So here's my thing. I think there's a better than 50% chance that I multi-class as Apathy for my last 2 levels.
Oh. I mean, to be fair, like 2 level, like you could pretty easily spare 2 levels as a wizard, because like because your 20th level wizard ability like is decent, but it's not like it's not game changing
If
like
it
it is for a
worked
lot
the
of other classes.
same as it did the 18th level ability, I would absolutely go to 20th level.
Yeah.
Because the 18th level ability, getting to freely cast a first and second level spell is just really good.
As cantrips, yeah.
Yeah.
You just, yeah.
If you could get the third level spell like that, I'd be super in. But you only get to cast it once for free, and that really doesn't feel worth it for me.
Yeah. Like, and to be fair, it is two third level spells, not just one.
Yeah, okay.
But I do agree. It does not feel nearly as
like
as good.
I can't think of 2 third level spells that like I don't have, or even that I do have that I'm like, it really matters that I can cast this one time for free.
I mean, the only one I would really argue for is like either a counterspell or dispel magic.
Well, that's the thing.
Because like those could be really clutch, but you're already really prioritizing that anyway. If that's the kind of campaign you're playing. So yeah, it does become a little. Yeah.
I'm not using my reaction for anything else.
Right.
And like I'm saving my spell slots specifically to counterspell and dispel magic.
Right.
So it's like being able to cast them one additional time really doesn't help me.
Right.
Plus,
it is helpful, but it's not. It's maybe not as helpful as something else could be.
We have never gotten to a point where I am completely out of spell slots, like in this campaign as of yet.
Yeah.
Like it's just bad management.
Plus, I don't actually. Do I? I wonder.
So this is one of the classes that feels really bad to multi-class in for me. Ranger.
Like multi-class into Ranger, or like start as Ranger?
Like if you are a Ranger and you multi-class, it just has abilities that don't match up with anything that anyone else does. Like you get your subclass at 3rd level, like a whole bunch of classes.
Right.
But then for some reason you get an ability at 7th level, which means that I would have to go 13 levels into a different class if I wanted to stop there and get that ability. So few classes get anything worthwhile at level 13. Same thing if you go any farther. 11th level. That means that I have to spend 9 levels into a class. Who gets good things at 9th level?
Right.
And then the last one is 15th. So if you go 15 levels into Ranger, then you might as well just go 16 levels into Ranger. Because if you're going to multi-class into a Marshal, the only thing you're going to get is an extra attack that you already have.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, might as well.
I suppose if you could talk to your DM and convince them to let the extra attacks stack, and so then you get 3 attacks, that could be helpful.
But then it's like you don't even really get anything going 16 levels into range, because at 16th level you get an ability score improvement. So it's like I guess if you really need that ability score improvement, might as well. But the last ability that you got was at 14th, so then the next one up would be 18th. But at that point in time, why are you even playing? Why are you even multi-classing? You might as well just go to 20.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help too. Like, there's so many different versions of Rangers nowadays.
Yeah,
because it's been revised so many times.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about Apathy. Right now, Apathy's main purpose is to maximize the use in one round, in the first round of combat.
Okay. Also, I'm so sorry. I just now reread this ability, and I thought to myself, man, Rangers suck.
Yeah.
Your 20th level Foe Slayer ability.
Mm-hmm.
You become an unparalleled hunter of your enemies, once on each of your turns. Once.
Mm-hmm.
You can add your Wisdom modifier to the attack roll or damage roll of an attack you make against one of your favorite enemies. You must choose to use this feature before or after the roll, but before any effects of the roll are applied. Yep. Meaning, once per turn, you can maybe increase your chances to hit or add 5 points of damage.
Oh yeah.
At 20th level.
Oh yeah, baby. But it stacks
compared
up.
Compared to let's just real quick, let's just look at our buddy, I don't know, the Paladin.
Yeah, go to Paladin 20th level. Yeah. That's a good capstone ability.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's just look at
pick one out of the works.
Let's go Oath of Vengeance, because why not? Because everyone loves an
You could even pick the bad one if you wanted. You could go like Oath of the Ancients.
Sure, let's look at Oath of the Ancients. Elder Champion. 20th level, you assume the form of ancient force of nature, taking on the appearance you choose. For example, your skin might turn green, take on bart-like texture, yada yada. Using your action, you undergo the transformation for 1 minute. You gain the following benefits. At the start of each of your turns, you gain 10 hit points. I mean, that alone is like every single turn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to do anything. It just happens.
Breathing.
And it's not even like, oh, up until like half your hit points. No, you just keep gaining hit points back. Whenever you cast a paladin spell using a casting time of 1 action, you can cast it using a bonus action instead.
Yeah.
Bro, that's game changing.
Oh yeah.
That's game changing for paladins.
That's very good.
Bro, that means you could cast a spell and attack.
Yeah. You could cast 2 spells.
Whenever you cast a paladin spell, nope, I already read that. Each creature within 10 feet of you has disadvantage on saving throws against your paladin spells and your channel divinity options. Excuse me?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, because I'm me, you just suck at fighting against me. Congratulations.
Let me tell you, Maz. No, it doesn't. Smite is when you hit with an attack. The smite spells are bonus action, but the smite ability is not.
Yes, the divine smite ability is just a free action. You just do it.
Yeah, you just
every time.
I hit you.
That's why you can divine smite on a reaction attack.
Yep, you can just smite as long as you have spell slots and you hit with an attack.
Yep,
it's
kind of busted.
It's pretty good. But yes, the spells for the most part are bonus actions. So,
yes, most of the there are
Take for example, you could be like you could spend a bonus action to get someone up if you don't have healing word. I'm trying to think of spells that paladins have that are actions.
Here. Well, here's okay. Actually, I do have Cather's character sheet.
Well, how convenient.
Yeah, I
made up 2 bagels before I came down here, and they are just sitting there staring at me.
So here's the thing, right? Here's the problem with Paladin that I have found personally, right? Most of the spells you cast aren't helpful because you really don't want to use your action to cast a spell as Paladin.
Yeah.
That's really not what you're good at. You want to hit something.
It's not an efficient use of your time.
And so, but if you let's just take a little trip down the road here. Of all my action cast spells, Bane, minus which, if for those people who don't know, basically minus D4 on things for my enemies, which is great, and it's multiple enemies. Command, basically, I force somebody to attack me and not my friends. That's compelled duel.
Lemon Emmy.
Hey, thank you for the raid.
Welcome. I've just updated the name of the stream to Nerd Talk.
Yeah, right. We haven't had good. We already kind of recapped the thing that happened. It's fine. We all made it out alive. Command, 1 action command or 1 word command as an action. Protection from good and evil. Dude, I would be so ecstatic if protection was good and evil was a bonus action, dude.
Right now, we are talking about just how much better the capstone ability of paladins are in comparison to rangers in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Because, let me tell you, to sum it up, rangers can sometimes add 5 to either an attack or damage roll once per turn, conditionally.
As their capstone ability.
Yeah, paladins
versus paladins who become a demigod.
So that's what we're talking about.
Let's see. Second. So those were all the first level spells that I currently had. That's not even all the first level paladin spells.
Bonus action spells, good. Very good.
Yeah, like, let's see. Most of the second level spells are kind of whatever. Like lesser restoration and locate object. Those would be kind of nice, but those aren't really like.
Bro, you could find that object at such speed.
As a paladin, Cather possesses the blink spell.
Yeah. Bonus action,
which is an action.
Ugh.
Bonus action blink spell, bro.
Ugh.
That would be so great.
Gross.
Bonus action revive.
Bonus action
would
revive.
be great.
That actually really does matter.
That would be like literally. That would mean like, oh crap, my teammate just fell down. Bonus action, pick them up, and then I swing my sword at somebody.
You do not. Oh crap! You go. Eh.
Right.
That's the intent.
Let's see. What else? Bonus action banishment.
Oh yeah.
Bonus action death ward.
Like once you get into like others, like because right now we have spells that would be good for paladins.
Bonus action dawn.
But like you could pick spells way better for paladins if you didn't care that they were action spells.
Right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You could change
right?
a lot of things around to be
like
I'm
I'm skipping over like half my spell list because they're all bonus actions because that's the only thing that's useful.
Yeah, I love Grant just attempting to hype up nerd speak.
Wait, Grant's here? Hi, Grant.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the raid, Lemon Emmy.
Bro, we are like imagine a paladin who didn't have to use a banishing smite to banish someone. Because like, bro, that would be absolutely nuts.
So Maz, I'm gonna tell you right now. You could have stopped at 6 Blade Singer and just not even tell me the damage because I know it's gonna be crazy. Because they were like, where's the coast was sitting there?
With 6 blade. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Hear me out. What if we had a wizard that like stabbed people, and they were like, all right, okay.
I'm listening so far.
I'm listening. And they're like, and then what if we made them have a higher armor class than any martial class as a wizard? And they were like, okay, and they were like, no, shh. What if they were just better at everything? They're like, then who? And they said, shh. There was a period there. They're better at everything. End statement. Damage. Survivability. They're faster than monks. They can probably make more attacks than a 20th level fighter. I don't know. Let's just make it up.
Let's just look at some of the
abilities. Enlighten me with your nerd speak.
So, second level, you get two things when you pick this as your subclass, right?
Yeah, sounds
fair. You gain proficiency in light armor. You gain proficiency in one type of one-handed melee weapon.
Cheating.
It also gain proficiency in performance. Nice.
Yeah, you can dance to death.
Also, so you can evoke what is called your blade song, your Elven Magic blade song.
That's the juice of it.
You can use a bonus action to start the blade song, which lasts for 1 minute. It ends early if you are incapacitated, or you.
It's not going to happen. Spoiler.
Or if you use stuff that you're not supposed to use it with. You can dismiss the blade song at any time. No action required. Okay. While the blade song is activated, you gain a bonus to AC equal to your intelligence modifier.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Like that's a lot. That's why I paused. That's a lot. Like, dude, all you need to do is just also have a good dex, and you could. Oh my. Right.
Well, I mean, literally no armor. If that is applied, you can have a 20. Like if you have a +5 in dex,
because you get +5 plus. Yeah.
It's
not even thinking. That's not even applying like the fact that you have like magic. You could have mage armor or the shield spell. Right.
Oh yeah.
Walking speed is increased by 10 feet. Advantage on dexterity, acrobatics checks. Gain a bonus to any constitutional saving throw to maintain concentration. Excuse me? You get the Warcaster feat at level 2?
Yeah.
You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You regain all expended uses when you finish the long rest.
I would like to also be clear here. I feel like there's some really dumb opportunity to multi-class this into Barbarian. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
well, no. All you need to do is just if you take 2 levels, you take 2 levels into Wizard as a Barbarian, and you could have Constitution plus Dexterity plus Intelligence all adding to your armor.
And and you could also cast Mage Armor at that point because it is not concentration.
Yeah.
I don't know if
you can cast Mage Armor
still applies.
Yeah.
There?
No. Yeah. No. Unarmored defense. Here. Let me read you what unarmored defense says for the Barbarian, because it would still apply.
I think it does.
Because unarmored defense, while you are not wearing armor, your armor class is 10 plus your dex plus your con.
Yeah. So
meaning all you have to do is just not wear armor, because you're a Barbarian.
And then if I check Mage.
And if you, the mage.
Mage armor. Mage armor. AC becomes 13 plus dex. So I suppose it doesn't necessarily stack because you wouldn't still get your con modifier, but I don't think that really matters. That also means that you get just much better magic item choice, right? Because although you can't get like the fancy things, theoretically that does mean that you can have a barbarian with like a robe of the archmage.
Well, yeah, like you could still have braces of defense,
Yeah,
robe of the
you still
archmage.
have stuff that
Yeah,
you also get the speed buffs and the things like that. And the beauty of barbarian with spellcasters is you just have to make sure to choose spells
that are
that
helpful.
don't cost concentration.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a really dumb opportunity here to just have a really intelligent constituty and dexterous barbarian.
The only caveat of this is you need 3 good stats. But
Yeah. Well, at that point in time, you become my favorite genre of Dungeons and Dragons character, which is in MOBA terms a stat stick, where I don't know what you do, but you have really high numbers. It's first of all, Maz brings up a fair point. We're just playing Skyrim. At any point in Skyrim, you can roll up with your like, yes, my name is Forsworn, Devastator of Legions, and they're like, thank God, someone who can understand magic, and you're like, I can cast 1 cantrip, and they're like, we should make you the professor of our college, the dean, put him in there. It's like you okay. Know that I beat the people to death with a stick that were threatening this college. I did cast spells, and they're like, oh, the wisdom you possess.
Yes. Why use magic when you can use the means of physical strength?
Let's build a statue and call you our wizard transcendent or something like that. And you're like, I have an axe.
All right. Oh man. Looking at some of these other abilities. 6th level, you gain extra attack. Also, one of those attacks can be a cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. Good.
That does matter.
Which honestly, that makes the cantrip True Strike useful.
Yes. This is another thing that I'm assuming Maz is taking full advantage of in his multi-class with Rogue.
Because you literally first attack cantrip True Strike, you gain advantage on your next attack, which then could proc sneak attack.
Yeah.
You are self-comboing so easily. 10th level ability. You can direct your magic to absorb damage while your Blade Song is active. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to expend 1 spell slot and reduce the damage to you by the amount equal to 5 times the spell slot level.
That's gross.
So
because that's compounding.
Yeah.
That means that someone could like deal damage to you, and you're just like, I'm gonna ignore 40 of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's gross. And then finally, 14th level ability, Song of Victory. You can add your intelligence modifier to the damage of your melee weapon attacks while your Blade Song is active. So to backtrack a little bit, Blade Song's 14th level ability to add damage to your attacks. Every attack is just a better version of the Ranger's capstone 20th level ability.
That is actually very accurate.
Like my guy.
As a note, I will state it is a very good multi-class with Barbarian.
Bro.
Because you also get an ability at 6th level in your subclass as Barbarian. Which means that you could be a mindless rager and also have 14 levels in spell, dancer, wizard, or whatever you are.
Yeah.
You could theoretically... Oh, that's... You could have the aspect of the beast at that level. Meaning that you could have the might of the bear, the eyesight of an eagle, or the hunting sensibilities of a wolf. Which is the nerdiest way to say it. that's like the lamest possible way to say like you have like the eyes and ears of a wolf. You have the hunting sensibilities. Dog. Literally dog.
Literally dog.
Exactly, Mass. Look, I'm only operating off the player's handbook right now. I'm not looking that hard into it.
Yeah, Zealot Barbarian, dude, that's not even fair.
Zealot Barb doing stuff. At that point in time, you're also dealing in still an additional 2 rage damage on top of your previous damage. You have 4 rages at 6th level. I'm just saying, Barbarian Wizard might be the best subclass or the best classes to multiclass.
Yeah, let's see.
I'll not be taking questions at this time.
Bro, what questions? It's undisputed fact.
Exactly. See, Drew knows what's good. I hate to say it. Oh, that is an excellent question. I think that it's definitely Barbarian is the starting class. No doubt in my mind that you start level 1 Barb.
Yeah,
you just get better proficiency. You can use any.
You get better. I mean, you get better proficiencies and you get more health.
Yep. Definitely Barbarian in my opinion.
Yeah.
I hate to cut us short, but we are wildly off track of anything close to what we normally do.
What are you talking about? This is what we normally do.
Do you need a strength weapon for rage damage? Hold on. I've been distracted.
I mean...
Well, okay. Now, hear me out, though. Here's
the thing. I don't think you need a strength weapon for your wizard.
No. Blade Song is fine as long as you don't use 2 hands to make an attack.
Yeah.
So you can just use...
Yeah, so you just use like a longsword.
Yeah, a longsword.
A battle axe.
Any weapon, really.
Any weapon that uses 1 hand.
Theoretically, there's probably some other interesting multi-class capability to like... into like Rune Knight or something. So that way you can become larger. And then, like, only use 1 hand on a 2-handed weapon. There's probably some way to do that, right? It's probably
I don't know if that actually is a thing, but...
Theoretically, I don't know, dog. I don't know anything about this. I actually do want to check one more thing. I'm always attempting to find a way to make Tensor's transformation good. It's not easy. Because it's a very strange
Giants might. You have learned how to imbue yourself with might of giants. As bonus action, you magically gain the following benefits left. If you're smaller than large, you become large with anything you're wearing.
Yeah, sorry. This is welcome to our flip through books time.
Each your turn.
The weapons grow with you. That's so disappointing. Just let me use 1 hand on a 2-handed weapon.
Yeah.
Wizards are lame. I can't remember the name of it, and I don't want to search for it anymore. I got bored. Ugh. But also, anyway,
I forgot that they put like recommended fighter builds in Tasha's.
Yeah. I still think that fighter is potentially the best like support class in the game. I think that people focus far too much on the fact that fight is in the name for them to actually be good.
Well, it's because people who are new think, oh, I want to be the
fighter, and
yeah, and they think, oh, that's the strong hero guy.
I'm going to be Aragorn, and then you're like,
even though Aragorn is totally not a fighter,
you'll never be Aragorn.
In fact, Legolas is more of a fighter than Aragorn is.
Yeah. Legolas is also just the Terminator, and I have said it to you before. I will say it every time you bring up Legolas. If you put Legolas and the Terminator in a room together, nothing will happen because they're the same person. Except one of them is more acrobatic.
Except one of them, yeah.
Legolas is like Terminator 2 Terminator, where they're just liquid. Also, okay, so interesting thing. A little bit of movie magic. I find it really interesting how people make movies. Have you seen Terminator 2?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever seen a clip of Terminator 2 where the guy gets shot with a bullet and it looks like metal? Like
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's practical effects. What
Mm-hmm.
they did is they shot bullets into like a mold, and so they shot it into like concrete or whatever they shot it into, made a mold of it, and then put it on their suit and folded it up, so that way when it was expanded, it would go, boom, and then it would look like there was a hole there. Super interesting practical effects.
Right.
I wish that movies used more practical effects. I think they're awesome. But yeah, no. Legolas is not a normal elf. If every elf in Lord of the Rings was Legolas, no one else would be alive.
Yeah, 100%.
It would not be like thank God the elves have come to defend. If every elf was Legolas and the elves showed up, everyone else could just go home. Literally, it's like one Legolas takes on like a platoon of soldiers. Like every 5 minutes. Like, dog, at that point in time,
dude has infinite stamina and strength.
At the amount of time, the amount of times that Legolas has defied gravity. If there was two Legoli, I guess they would be.
Legoli?
Yeah, if there were two Legoli, I have no doubt in my mind that they would be able to run, jump off of a wall, and then just run on each other's feet. And just basically hack.
Isn't there like a game or anime who did that?
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots did that, but I feel like there's an anime that I remember seeing, or like a video game.
There's a lot of shows that have had them do stuff like that. Legolas, first of all, is also supposed to kind of be a country bumpkin in the grand lineage of elves. Like I'm pretty sure Gimli outranks him in terms of like nobility.
Well,
in their respective cultures.
So Legolas is from the Woodland realm, which is the just more looked down on elves, but they still have a lot of regality to them.
So that's the question: is it just because Legolas is a wood elf? Because I would much rather have the wood elves come to my aid than the high elves.
Oh, 100%.
Because, like,
it's the difference of the elves that have lived in prestigious society versus the elves who have lived in like the crib and have had to fight to survive.
Yeah. Also, as a quick answer to your question, Maz, yes, you can use as many cantrips as you would like. No one cares about cantrips. If you have a cantrip and then a haste action, that for some reason can use a cantrip, because I don't believe you can cast spells with hasted action.
Yeah, technically, the haste spell does specify what actions you can take using your hasted action.
Now, if you're talking action surge, you could go cantrip, action surge, cantrip, and then bonus action cantrip, and no one would complain. And then reaction cantrip if there is one of those.
I think there are actually.
I know that there's like magic stone as a bonus action cantrip. I can't think of a reaction cantrip, but there's probably something. I feel like
there is one.
So yeah, no one cares about cantrips. Use as many as you want. But yeah, Legolas. Oh my god, like at that point in time, if it is the difference between you lived in your cloistered cities and hid yourself from the world, we lived in the woods. If that's the reason that Legolas is like the Terminator, the wood elves should have already taken over the world.
Yeah.
Like the only reason that they wouldn't have, if that is the case, is because they just were too lazy. Like.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
Warcaster. There you go.
Cantrip on
reaction. I did just look it up that there are no reaction cantrips, but I was gonna say I feel like there. But I'm like, I know there's a way to cast a cantrip as a reaction.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's been done in the campaign. I feel because I have Warcaster.
Because you have Warcaster.
I have reaction used like Thunder Blade or whatever. I don't remember the name of it.
Booming Blade.
Yeah, Booming Blade. That's the one.
That's the one. That's the thing.
That's my opinion on Legolas. It's like if you were to take a picture.
It's because Legolas is the chosen one.
Well, yeah. If you've looked at the meme, that's like, oh yeah, the 1998 Chicago Bulls at 100% strength, and then it's like the 1998 Chicago Bulls at like 98% strength, and it's just a picture of Michael Jordan. Like, that would be the
well. See, okay, so funnily enough, I have a picture of that meme with Lord of the Rings where literally it's like it shows the full picture of the Fellowship before they leave, and then it shows a cropped out picture that just includes Aragorn, Sam, and Legolas, and it's like the Fellowship at 100% strength, the Fellowship at 99% strength.
That's absolutely what I'm talking about. Like, you could do the whole movies pretty much just with them, and it's the same thing as like how long the books would have been if Pippin had a gun, and it's like 5 pages. Like,
he can go 65 feet around. It doesn't provoke opportunity attacks and does 117 damage around. What level are you, Maz?
14, I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Look, once you get past level 10,
you could do pretty much anything.
You just don't care. Things just go out the window. Logic and reason don't matter. You're like, oh yeah, this seems like a... Like, up until level 10, you're like, yeah, this seems balanced. You hit level 10, and then things just stop caring.
Yeah,
and by
things just go wild.
I mean people. And by people, I mean me. Like, look, I'm just saying, not impressed, Maz. Next time, you do that and tell me you're at like level 5, and I'll be like, wow, that was impressive.
Yep, that'll do it. Air Genasi,
that
mobile,
is absolutely how you do that.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry for getting on that rant about Legolas. But
we're not actually sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna continue the rant about Legolas. In the books, Legolas is just a guy with a bow. Like, he's good. Like, he's good with the bow. But there's a reason why Frodo doesn't know his name. There's a reason why he never mentions it.
I mean, to be fair, though, Frodo's also very sheltered.
I mean, yeah. But, like, he's not that great. In the books, it's like, yes, I'm Legolas of the Forest Realm. I have a bow. In the movie, he's like, I'm about to hit the gnarliest trick shot of my life, and then I'm gonna do it again.
He's gonna do perfect himself.
Instantly Maz. Legolas would wipe the floor with Merida, literally ending her career.
Oh my goodness!
Holy cow,
Merida!
Dude.
Merida from Brave wouldn't see Legolas before he shoots.
Legolas solos every Disney verse at once, and Legolas versus the Incredibles. Legolas.
I think, honestly, see, here's the thing, right? Here's what I'm thinking, right? Legolas versus Vader. That is a close fight, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a close fight. What is he going to do? Force push him? He doesn't weigh anything. Look, Legolas is is a 1-to-1 with, like, comparing Romans to any other, like, ancient fighting force. Where it's like, oh man, I wonder who would win in a fight, the Romans or the Aztecs? And it's like, shut up, that's not even a fight. Literally, the Romans versus anyone.
Ooh, Legolas versus Thanos.
The only one who beat the Romans was the Romans.
But yeah,
and true. Caligula. But that's a different story. Romans or Spartans, it's actually not that bad. Spartans actually had a lot more political power than it was, like, fighting strength. They were good fighters, but if you actually look at battles that they succeeded at, impressive feats were actually pretty limited. And they were kind of like the creme de la creme of, like, heh, look at us, we have the Spartans on our side. But it wasn't like they're single-handedly conquering nations. Romans. every time the Romans. If you had to put money on a safe bet, you bet on the Romans and you bet on Legolas. The only questionable fight is who would win, Legolas versus the Romans. And I'm probably saying Legolas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I'm saying Legolas in that instance.
Legolas versus all of Rome in its prime might be a fair fight.
Now, see, okay, so here's my so Maz also asked Legolas versus Thanos.
Legolas. Every time Legolas.
You think so? Well, I mean that is why, Hawkeye wasn't in Infinity Wars, because he just would have won.
Because he was 1/8 of Legolas at best on a good day. And he solos Thanos. Every time. I'm just saying. One Terminator with a bow and arrow is better than Legolas versus Goku. I'm taking Legolas. Legolas versus Superman. I'm taking Legolas. He's gonna find some dumb. He's like, oh yes, this elvish relic, kryptonite, and then it's game over. You don't bet against Legolas in a fight. Legolas is the embodiment of you don't fight Russia in winter in Russia.
Right.
That's the rule. If you do, you're gonna lose. It happens every time, except with Legolas, it's you don't fight Legolas. Like, there's no conditions. Name one person in the movies who could beat Legolas in a one-on-one fight.
I mean, like, so this didn't actually technically happen because Legolas wasn't in The Hobbit technically, but in the Hobbit movies, there's a single fight where Legolas was in a draw. However, he then later beat that same person in a 1v1.
Yeah.
So, like...
Correction. Legolas let the person feel like he was winning for a fight. And then was like, okay, we had our fun. Also, I'm pretty sure in one of those fights, he literally ran on falling stone.
Yeah, he did.
Find me another person in the movies who can run on falling stone. Find me one. Gimli? Nope. The only one, it might be Gollum. Because I'm still unsure if Gollum is not Yoda. Like, he might just be a messed up Yoda. Like, but even that, because, like, he does some freaky stuff in that movie. But, like, not as freaky as Legolas. This entire bit, I wish was recorded and condensed, so I could just replay it anytime someone mentions Legolas. Because I get real tired of having to go through it every single time, but I also will do it every single time. Legolas versus Legolas, but he has cooler hair. Legolas. The hair gets in the way. I'm just saying. It's like what, it was Saruman, and then there's game over.
Yeah.
What's a wizard to do? Magic is lame in Lord of the Rings. You're not gonna stop a Legolas.
Well, actually, so the thing is, though, magic in Lord of the Rings is very different than actual magic in, like, the rest of fantasy.
Yes.
Because it's actually, if you look at the lore of Lord of the Rings, it's actually more akin to, like, just speaking things into existence than actually, like, casting spells.
Yeah, but they also, like, aren't allowed to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like
Gandalf has the ability of the word of God of creation, and you can
only use it against a different wizard.
Yeah, but you can't really use it a lot, you know.
It's like, yeah. So it's like, if it was Gandalf versus Legolas, then he just gets porcupines. Like, what is he gonna do? The only excuse that he could have is like Legolas might be God. So then it would be fine. Also, so here's the thing. I love a series of books called the Shannara series.
Really?
The Shannara series.
I'm surprised you haven't brought this up before.
The first book, The Sword of Shannara, is basically just Lord of the Rings plus. It's basically identical up until about halfway through the book. And then it starts to be like, wait, I can write my own thing.
We can be our own book.
Literally a group of small, homely people. One of them is walking on a road alone and is surprised by a tall, scary old man with a stick. He is then given a very precious item in a pouch and told that he has to go save the world. You meet a person with a bow. They're greeted by a stoic ranger-like fellow with a sword. It's very similar. But this is my frustration. So, this tall wizardy fellow, his name is Alanon. And in the Shannara series, they're called druids. In Lord of the Rings, they're called wizards. But in Lord of the Rings, they're like astral nature creatures that are basically angels.
Yeah.
That like resonate with life.
Yeah.
And in Shannara, the druids are cloistered scholars dedicated to learning magic through reading books. Why are they called druids, and why is Gandalf a wizard? It's the most irritating bit of literature. It's like my biggest pet peeve, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm a wizard. It's like, what do you do? And it's like, I just kind of exist. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a druid, and what do you do? It's, I have not stopped reading.
I have not
since
stopped reading.
birth. It's like, well, you're not a druid. Why are you a druid? That doesn't make it. That's not what a druid does.
It is in that world.
But I would say this to all of you: if you have not read the Shannara series, you should. They're very good. I recommend them. There is a lot of books in this series. It starts with the Sword of Shannara, and it's excellent.
There you go. Aaron's recommendation of the day.
It is in my list of defining fantasy books that I have read. The Shannara series, fantastic. I want to say Terry Brooks. That's the author name. I kept wanting to say Tamora Pierce, but I know that that's wrong. Yeah. Oh, Handscape, you've read it. It's really good. But it is just Lord of the Rings in the first book, right? Like, I'm not crazy about that. Like, it's just Lord of the Rings. It's semi-post-apocalyptic Lord of the Rings. Really good, though. There's some really good parts of it. Once you get to, once you get past Alanon and they have a new druid, the new druid is like the coolest character in any book I've ever read. He's like if Gandalf was like a biker and like 27. Like, it's awesome. And could shoot blue fire out of his hands. Just willy-nilly. And he fought the literal incarnation of the 4 horsemen just to the death. Because they locked him in his own castle. And he was like, alright, bucko, I'm ready to throw down. Fire hands. And then he rolled out on his motorcycle. Yes, Handscape, I did, and it was the most upsetting thing I've ever seen. MTV made a Shannara series, and it made me want to cry. Because they were like, where should we start off this series? I know, how about book 4? Book 4 book 4? Like the book where there's like no explanation as to where anything is and what it is and why it's there. And you're just gonna throw people in. It's like, you have to find the elf stones. The what? Excuse me? Yes. We are the descendants of the Ohmsfords. And it's like, the who? Oh, excuse me? And they're like, yes, using your elf song, you must find the seed of this ancient tree of the elves. And it's like, I'm sorry. What are you talking about? They just skipped over. They skipped it. Oh, MTV. Stop making shows. Just stop it. Go back to your music stuff, or just stop altogether. That's how you could help us now. Stop ruining things that I love.
Aaron in pain. Stop ruining my childhood.
I will fight MTV to the death. I'll say right now, I don't care that I'm throwing this sponsorship away.
Aaron versus MTV.
Bro, first of all,
the court case America never knew they needed.
That is absolutely a show that MTV would release. Aaron versus MTV. And someone's like, who's Aaron? And they're like, we're not going to tell you. You should have already known that. Why didn't you read the books first? Why would you watch this show unless you've read the books first?
Wow, right? Oh my goodness, dude.
My voice is tired from yelling.
Fair.
I'm going to try to end the stream, theoretically.
In theory.
Do you have any final statements / do the viewers have any final questions?
Happy Thursday, everyone. If you haven't seen the one shot from Monday, go check it out. It was a ton of fun. It was an absolute blast. If you are somehow watching this and you're a podcast listener, look forward to the end of today, because I'm going to trying to get the podcast back up to date today.
Let's go.
So otherwise, I don't know. We'll see you guys on Monday for main campaign.
That is an important information. This coming Monday, I believe the episode will be pre-recorded.
Yes.
Now, at least one of us will be in stream,
likely me,
watching it. You'll be there. There's a below 50% chance that I'll be there. So it's a strong chance that I'll be there.
Woo.
Unless
we'll just have another table scraps in the chat.
Yeah, a friend that I didn't know that I had was like, "Hey, Aaron, do you want to do something?" That has strangely happened at least once in the past month.
Huh.
So more than likely I'll be there. I don't know who else will.
But Aaron and I will be there.
Yeah. Theoretically, Drew at least will be there.
Yes, I have to be there.
So, check that out. I'm really excited for it. I'm excited to do stuff.
All right.
There's a definite chance of a Discord watch party.
Ooh, Discord watch party. We haven't had one of those in a little while.
Definite chance. So if you want to be part of the Discord watch party, join our Discord.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you can
apparently
be part
talk
of the
to
Discord
Hans.
watch party. I cannot pronounce words.
Honestly, that did low-key sound like some ASMR though.
I am struggling right now. I worked a shift this morning, and apparently the truck that came in, god dang Iowa, brought in so much pollen that attacked me specifically. I'm in so much pain. But that's everything for this show today. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks again, Lemon Emmy, for the raid. It is greatly appreciated. Thanks for everyone who stuck with us and listened to me rant about Legolas and a book series you've never read. Drew reading out from the player's handbook strange things that he happens to find and why they're absolutely absurd. Yeah. If you want to watch more of it, every Thursday we'll stream Table Scraps. Whether or not it is at 1:30 to 3:30, the only way to know for sure is going to be in our Discord. I'll send a notification as to whether or not We are going through with the stream, what time it'll be happening, and any complications that arise. And then check us out on Mondays at 7 p.m. CST. That's when our main campaign happens. And it's been going on for like 3 years now, and we're quickly approaching the end game.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to this next episode because it's going to be the first combat that we have with Abinthy at 17th level.
What if I just don't do anything? I'm tempted to not do anything because
honestly,
I feel like
right?
I should save it for later.
You're just choose not.
What if I cast like a 9th level like magic missile?
That actually would be hilarious.
Got him. And they just fire off like 70 beams.
That is true. See, that is interesting. Like, what if you save Abinthy's true power of a 9th level combo until the very last fight, and so we only ever see it once.
Well, I do have to use it in the practice that eventually we'll be releasing on Patreon. If you want a bit of a preview as for what Abinthy has going on, DJ will eventually be DMing a kind of practice level 20 fight to kind of figure out what all we can do and how exactly he should be prepared, so that way it isn't like, the final boss has arrived. It's dead now.
Or the inverse of the final boss has arrived and we're all dead now.
The final boss has arrived. Where are they?
Instant TPK.
So check out our Patreon if you want to catch interesting things like that, as well as fun little one-shots and anything else that we happen to have that's pretty fun, any fun little videos. And check out our Discord, especially if you're a subscriber to our Twitch. Sometimes we post some cool stuff in the Discord every once in a while, so keep an eye out on that. I think that I have said everything that needs to be said for Table Scraps. Thanks again for everyone watching. Handskate, thank you for being here for just the whole stream. Maz, thank you for being a wonderful moderator and everything like that. The only thing that I have left to say is the same thing that we say every time we stream. Good luck and Godspeed, everyone. We will see you next time, Dungeoneers. It has been a blast. Goodbye.